Back at you again with another one. So after last night's loss, I had some time to sort of think about it and analyze the situation critically rather than being irrational. And the more I think about it, the more I'm realizing I'm sticking to my gun. This guy is an absolute fraud. Yes, Stan Kroenke doesn't help the situation, and the Kroenkes have been the worst thing in this club, 100%. But do I think they're the only issues? Of course not. You know, Arteta is just breaking records left, right, centre. So we've not lost to Wolves at home since 1971. We've just done that last night. We seem to be breaking records non-stop. And I'm starting to think that Sky Sports are intentionally putting us on Sunday really late because they just know we're just banter. They're waiting, save comedy for right at the end. It's just so embarrassing. It's now look at the stats here I've got on screen. So this is courtesy of AFC stuff via AFT Media, who are posting it up on their behalf. So Arsenal's points tally of 13 from the opening 10 games is by far the worst in history. This is our worst Premier League start to a season. Yet we have fans out there who are constantly backing him, who are constantly making up excuses. Not even my mum makes this many excuses for myself. Yet we're going to be sat here and make all the excuses in the world for him. Some of the excuses I'm hearing is, this is the worst Arsenal team in history. Is it really? Really? We've been crying out for a world-class striker like Aubameyang for many years when we had the likes of Giroud, Chamak, Bentner, etc. Yeah? We're crying out for a Vieira like-for-like replacement, and we've got Thomas Partey. We've had diminutive figures like Lucas Torreira. We had Coquelin there, and yet, do you know what I mean? We've not had yet a left back as great as Ashley Cole since Tierney has come in the squad. Let's be honest. We had Del Clichy. We had what's that guy called? The Brazilian guy. Is it Santos? Who was? Let's not even go there. We had the likes of Scolacci. We had the likes of Pascal Segon, etc. I can remember a team that was formed of Denilson, Johan Giroud, Philip Sendros. I'm trying to think who else is there. And I can't remember the rest. But that was a very poor team. And I believe Nicholas Bentner was in that squad. Are you really telling me that team is better than this? You got to be kidding me. What about that season where we got battered 8-2 to United and we signed all of these useless players, including Mikel Arteta? Yeah, we had Mikel Arteta in our midfield and we signed him deadline day after being smashed 8-2 against United. And let's be honest, his footballing career right now is probably just as bad as his management career is. Probably his management career is probably even worse than that. So, and he was just trash. What I used to always tell people back those days is Mikel Arteta is the poor man's version of Cesc Fabregas. When you want something and you ask your mum, hey mum, can we get a Cesc Fabregas? She points at Mikel Arteta, goes, listen, we've got Cesc Fabregas at home. That's him. The excuses our fan bases come up with is just nonsense. Now, let me show you another stat as well. These stats, he's just breaking them left, right, centre. Now, look at this. Arsenal haven't managed, more shots per game, 9.5, than any of the bottom clubs across Europe's top 5 league. Wow. For example, during yesterday's game, we didn't have a single shot on target in the second half. There's been games when Oba hasn't had a single shot. It's all part and parcel of the management style. You can say what you want and say, but he's not got the balance. He doesn't really utilize what you've got, man. We're not that bad. Are you seriously going to tell me, if you're looking at our squad, Dani Ceballos, Spanish international, Aubameyang, captain of Gabon, and he's a world-class striker. I'm not going to mention Laka because he doesn't play for the French team, but he's not that bad. To the point that Lyon quoted him at 50 million. Yes, I know they inflate their players, but we were happy enough to pay for that because we genuinely thought he was worth that. So you can't be sat here and telling me Lacazette is poor, yeah? Because he's not, let's be honest. When we signed him, he was considered better than Danny Ings. And now you have half of our fan base will snap at the opportunity to have a trade deal between Danny Ings and Lacazette. So it's not that Laka that's the issue. It's just been managed very poor. We've got Pepe, you know, who was tearing it up in Liga. We've got so many decent quality players there. And if we're looking at even the midfield, Granit Xhaka, don't rate him, but that's a Swiss international. We had the opportunity to sign, I forgot his name now, the Kante, but we went for Xhaka. That's just poor management. So I can go on and on about our team. It's not the team that's the issue. A decent manager can find the balance. Are you really going to sit here and tell me Southampton, who are sat fifth, have a better team than us? Are you going to really tell me Brighton have a better team than us? Or, you know, I can go on and on. Leeds United, do they have a better team than us? How many of the Leeds United players get into Arsenal? Let's be real. Maybe Calvin Phillips and the centre back. What's his name? The one that they signed from Germany in the summer just gone. Kokoc or something like that. Koch. Other than that, who generally from Leeds United gets into our team? Yeah, they were all over us. It's just so embarrassing. Stop these excuses. You're embarrassing yourself, yeah? Wake up, yeah, and fucking smell the coffee. We are part of the problem if we're just going to sit back and make all these excuses for Mikel Arteta. Come on, man. Like, really? Like, for example, let me just show you this example. This is now, yeah, a well-known YouTuber with thousands of followers. He mentioned, who would you rather get if we were to get rid of Arteta because he can't find a solution? He's trying to say it's not Arteta that's the problem. I mentioned, surely there are many managers out there. For example, one of them being Brendan Rodgers, yeah, which we could have signed, but I believe we had to pay Leicester a fee if we were to get Rodgers off their hands. But we didn't. We went for the cheap option, as per usual. And then what happens? Down the line, it comes back to bite us in the arse again. So if we look at this sort of comment here, I said, Tom, realistically, from the Gooner talk, if we did have Rodgers in charge, do you honestly think we'd be in a better position than we're in? Now, this is the delusion of Arsenal fans. I think defensively we would be poorer and offensively better, so overall not really improved. Not really improved. So you don't think under Brendan Rodgers we're going to be 14th? It's, you know, even from that sort of tone of voice, you can tell these fans are they're not really happy with the whole situation, but they're just clinging on to some sort of hope and trying to make excuses. Oh, but Rodgers won't fix our issues because Rodgers can't find a balance. Really? What? So you're telling us we can't get a manager out there that can get this squad better than 14th? Is our squad that bad that if you were to look at the 20 teams in the Premier League, that you would put them in 14th? And if you tell me yes, you're fucking delusional, man. You're delusional because you're sat here, yeah, come the summer, half of you saying, we're going to get Champions League. Oh, my God, we signed Thomas Partey. We signed Gabriel. We've got Mikel Arteta. We're getting Champions League. So why has the narrative changed now? You know, it's because you're constantly sat there trying to change a narrative, making excuses. Just fucking wake up and understand what the issue is. The issue is this fraud is not good enough for the club, yeah? You can say what you want about, what's his name, the Cronkies. But really, 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 are we going to really be sat here talking crap? Now, let's just look at so far what we've done this season. Yeah, the only decent game where we actually performed really well was against Fulham, beaten 3-0. Lucky to get that win against Southampton 2-1. Let's be honest, Liverpool wasn't even in sort of full gear. They beat us comfortably 3-1. They could have ended the game earlier, but we wasn't a threat to them. We narrowly beat Sheffield United 2-1. And why did we let McGoldrick get that long distance shots? We didn't even apply any pressure towards him. Says a lot. Man City celebrated. Oh, we just lost 1-0. We were in the game for so long. Yep, winning, losing mentality. We beat United. Sorry, I forgot. We going on to Leicester, lost against them. Brendan Rodgers masterclass, sat back. Second half, brought Vardy on. And guess what? He absolutely tore Mikel Arteta and showed an inexperienced man like Mikel Arteta how management should be done. Then you have United. We narrowly beat them by a penalty. We got smashed by Villa. Let's be real. They bullied us. We drew against Leeds and we lost last night against Wolves. Mate, that's 10 games, yeah? 4 victories, 5 losses. And you still somehow say, make excuses. Oh, but it's the balance. It's the balance. Really? So look where we're sat. We're fucking 14th, yeah? -2 goal difference. Don't tell me, oh, Mikel has a great defensive record. No. Just because you got 10 men behind the ball doesn't mean your defense is that great. How do you have a great defensive record if your goal difference -2? Some might say, oh, but because we're not attacking. Yeah. No, you don't say. Of course we're not attacking because, as I mentioned, we've got the whole squad behind the ball. So you can't be sat here and making lousy excuses. Oh, but our defensive records is improved. Oh, no shit, Sherlock. When you've got every man behind the ball, what do you expect? You know, I rate you if you were to get a balance. Look at Chelsea. How have they conceded less goals and scored more than twice the amount of goals we have? Why? Because they found a balance. Yeah, I can go on and on. So is Newcastle squad better than us? Is Leeds United? Is West Ham? Is Aston Villa's? Is Everton's? Is Wolves? Is Southampton? Is Leicester's? You know, stop making these BS excuses. Just admit it. Arteta is a failure. He doesn't know what he's doing at his depth. Now, for some of you who will sit there and criticize the players, remember, Arteta selecting them week in, week out. Now, let me bring you, a phrase or a quote by Bellerina, Arteta's favourite right back, and some of you mans out there gas him up to make him, be this next coming of Philip Lahm. Listen to this quote. Alexis, this is by Bellerina, Alexis is an amazing player. For me, one of the best players in the Premier League, for sure. But he's a player who always wants to win. He demands from everyone, and sometimes it can be quite too much, Bellerina responded. Quite too much? Mate, you're playing a loser, who, under pressure, can't hack it. I watched the Michael Jordan documentary, Save the Last Dance. Fuck me. If Bellerin was in that dressing room, Jordan would have snapped him, But Arteta's playing these weak-ass, players week in, week out. So, yes, the fault is at Arteta. And you have to, guys, honestly, you can't say, be here backing him, and then guys like me, you're saying we're not fans because we're criticizing. Of course, criticize the club. That's why the Cronkies have gotten away with it for far too long, because we've just been sat here chilling, watching them do what they want and not complaining. So no, go out there, complain, be real, call it out, a spade. Arteta's a fraud. He needs help. Either get him a new person to come in to change things up. Someone experienced, an experienced assistant. If you're not gonna sack him, and if you are, please, there's Poch down the road. There's Ralph from Southampton. There's many players, and I'm more than happy, the Cronkies, to give you a list of managers who I can tell you will do a much better job with our current squad than being 14th. That's my take. Sorry for the rant. No, by the way, it's not directed at everyone. As I said, the majority are clued up. You guys know what you're doing, and you know the fraud, and you can see everything, the con behind this whole PR stunt. But for some of you are still blinded, mate, just lose your ego, be real, and face the facts. He's not good enough. Anyway.